Hello everyone! So welcome back to part 2 of this, I guess it's now a series because part 1 did so well to my surprise. Apparently a lot of people wanted to see a video ranking husbandos, but some of the feedback was, 1, you didn't like the way we ranked them, which understandable, and 2, you wanted to see the waifus. So here we are, we're going to make Blue very uncomfortable and we're going to make her do the waifus, just like she put me on the spot to do the husbandos. And one thing I want to mention before we start is that, yes, we're going to also, this is based off feedback from the last video, but we are going to, after the game comes out, revisit these tier lists and restructure once we know the post time skip of every single unit. Because I realize right now it's a little bit early and we don't know much about the units and we're kind of just doing a little quick surface brush based on profiles and appearances, and I know that's not fair. So don't get too worried about it. Don't get too bogged down about it. We will revisit, but for now, this is what we've got, so we're going to roll with it. So, hey, Blue, how's it going?
Hey guys, Blue Resident Waifu Slayer here. I'm probably going to ruin your day.
Yeah, no, I feel like this one's going to have a lot more disagreement.
Actually, no, I think I'm going to be a little bit nicer this time, mostly because I'm more big on husbandos than I am waifus, so I think I'm going to give you a bit more leeway in deciding which or where they go.
Yeah, I might need help on these because a lot of them are not my type. I have a very specific type, but we'll get into the discussion and I'll try to be fair as well. So without further ado, it's going to be the same structure as last time. We're going to start with Black Eagles, and then I think it was Blue Lions, then Golden Deer, then Miscellaneous, then Teachers, then Villains. So, starting off right away, right off the bat, with one of our main characters, and the leader of the Black Eagles, it is Edelgard. She is the Imperial Princess of the Adrestian Empire, a mighty nation with a rich history, and its next emperor. With the Black Eagles, she's the house leader. She is an extremely noble and dignified heir to her, and is able to calmly assess and act upon the situation and the people around her. So, like last time, I'm going to bounce this one straight to you, Blue. What is your initial impression here?
So, I'm generally not super big. Actually, no. You know what? Let me start off with something. Alright, so looking at her name, I can't be the only one who thinks Bravely Default, looking at that last name, right?
Oh, I forgot to read the full name. It's Edelgard von Resvelg. I hope I didn't
always think of the summon
that.
From Bravely Default when I look at her name.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, actually going into her character, though, I'm usually not super big on the super calm types or anything like that. Her design's pretty good, though. I do like the hair. Purple eyes, really nice as well. Again, I'm not super feeling that calm air to her. Again, it's a preference thing for me in general. I know people really like her, and I do think that she probably deserves to be pretty high. Mostly because I know that people really enjoy that domineering kind of character in their ladies.
Yeah, so I'm not the biggest fan of blondes in general. Now, there's been a little bit of discussion on whether her hair is actually blonde or if it's kind of like a silvery gray or whatever it is. It's light hair. That's not my thing in general. However, I do really like the regal, the noble appearance, the way she carries herself. In general, the design is great. And so I think, I'm not going to actually dock points here just because of hair color. I think she looks great. And yeah, she's going to be an empress, guys, in the future. Like, what's not to like? This is a powerful woman here. So I'm a little bit tempted here to just go S rank ASAP right off the bat with this one, just to start it off.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I think so. This one's going to be hard to put people low because unlike the male characters, I think they actually focused a little bit more on the female characters in terms of designs and overall looks. I don't know how you feel about that, but
well, I think there's probably a bit more variety with the male characters, but at the same time, you got a lot of older guys as well in comparison to older ladies.
Yeah, so that's also true.
Girls aren't necessarily going to be into the older guys.
Yeah. All right, well, that was an easy S rank one. So moving on to the next one, who has also drawn a lot of attention for being the resident JoJo girl of Fire Emblem Three Houses. It is Dorothea Arnold, a female student who was a popular songstress in the imperial capital before she enrolled. She admires Manuela, who came from the same Middle Frank opera company as her senior. Within the Black Eagles, she's the only commoner, which makes her feel uneasy, but she treats all of her similarly aged friends as equals. So, this is a dark-haired character, which I like. I'm not too big of a fan of the JoJo hat just because of all the memes it's sparking, and as you can see, her design in general is pretty good. She's got green eyes, which, again, not really one of my things, but, you know, overall, I like her. I don't see any reason to, like, go crazy over her, except the memes and the hat, but, yeah, I mean, we can talk about where we rank her once Blue does her take, but yeah, she's not going to go super, super high for me, but I think she's still up there. What do you think, Blue?
So I am a sucker for singers in general. I was a huge choir nerd back in high school, so I have a soft spot for singers in games and whatnot. Also, I think she's going to be really interesting in her support conversations, just because of the fact that she is the only commoner, or proper commoner, I guess you could say, in Black Eagles, so I know that she was a big songstress and everything, but there's almost kind of a weird sort of power dynamic going on here where everyone else is nobility. So even with that boost, she's still technically a commoner. And I feel as though there might be a bit of an inferiority complex kind of thing going on with her, potentially in some support conversations with the nobles, which I think is personally pretty interesting. I'm kind of hyped for her supports. So I really like her, honestly. I like her design. I think this is the one.
I didn't expect that from you, so where would you put her?
Honestly, S rank.
Wow, really?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I was
really
kind of
like
on
her.
the line of, yeah, I definitely wouldn't put her any lower than girlfriend material. Like, there's no way, but I don't know. I'm a bit on this one. I'm not sure, just because, you know, I see there's a lot more coming, and I don't know if I want to put her in S rank at this from the very start, but at the same time, I think she probably should be up there. So I'm gonna put her up there for now, and then maybe we can revisit. I know we said we were gonna revisit last time, and we actually didn't because it was so long. But I think this time we might have time to revisit. Okay, so yeah, 2 S ranks right off the bat. I didn't think we were gonna start off that way, or maybe I had a hunch. But anyways, the next one, Bernadette von Varley. The only daughter of Count Varley's family, she's abnormally shy, and because she's far from home, her one safe haven is her room within the dormitory. Except for during lectures, she tends to confine herself to her room, devoting herself to her pastimes. You're up, Blue.
I feel if I actually say something bad about this character, certain somebody will get very mad at me.
Mm-hmm. Well, go for it anyways.
So, in general, I'm not... I think she might be one of the shy types, honestly. Yeah, well, so she's shy. I'm not big on that personally. I'm not a huge fan of shy characters in general. Especially if they're gonna go the route of, oh hey, we're gonna try to talk to you anyways, even though you're not going out of your way to talk back to us. Like, I don't want to say it necessarily validates the shy kind of character and whatnot, but again, I'm not super big on this kind of thing. I'm not big on the hairstyle either. But yeah.
To be honest, I'm completely with you there. I don't like someone who's just completely shy and reserved, and like, if you're gonna be in your room the entire time, how are we even gonna see, you know, who you are if you're just gonna hide away and be shy the whole time? So, and the short hair, I'm not a really big fan of short hair. There are exceptions, but in general, kind of the short hair, the disheveled appearance, you know, like shy, we don't really know much about her personality, but it just seems like she's a very reserved personality. To me, I would honestly just go invisible tier here right off the bat. Like, there's no room for me to even put her in friend zoned. I'm just not interested.
I honestly feel kind of bad putting her down there, though.
I mean, someone's got to go down there.
You know what? I'll let you take the brunt of a certain person's wrath.
You know what? You took a lot of the brunt for the last video, so I know I'm going to take a lot of the brunt for this one. So I'll take one for the team here. I'm going to put her in invisible to start out with, and again, we can maybe revisit. I'll think about it. All right, so the next one was actually a personal favorite of mine for quite a long time, just because of her general everything. And it's Petra McNary, the granddaughter of the King of the Brigid Isles, a group of islands located west from Fodland Shores. Because Brigid is a vassal of the Empire, as a symbol of loyalty, she was sent from her homeland to study abroad at the Officers' Academy. She's unaccustomed to the spoken language of Fodlan, but she is trying her best to learn. So, Petra is one of the first characters we saw in the trailers, and she is, to put it lightly, very good looking. She's got the long hair, it's a darker color, she's just got, she's very curvy, she's got great features, her face is unique, she's got that tattoo under her eye, or whatever it is, that just makes her stand out a little. And yeah, she's different than everyone else. She's a foreigner. She doesn't speak the language very well, but it looks like in all the trailers that she shows up in that she's kind of around and she's trying to make an attempt. And so I like that. She seems like and she probably is very popular. I don't know what you think, Blue.
I kind of want to sort of disagree on the looks, but not so much the design itself, like the hair or anything. I think the hair looks really good. I just think the color scheme is a bit off. Maybe if the hair was a bit different in color, I think it would match the skin a little bit better. Or at least make it stand out a little bit better, I guess you can say. In terms of character, I'm a bit worried they might go the route of, support conversation, she says something, characters don't understand what she's trying to say, rinse and repeat until a support whatever. So I hope it's not super gimmicky.
I mean, from what we've seen so far, it looks like she has a decent grasp on the language, but, maybe not as bad as Leanne was in, say, Radiant Dawn. She definitely looks like she's better than that, so I'm sure she's going to have a decent amount of conversation. And, again, post-time skip, she'll probably have had a much better grasp in general by then, or at least one would think after 5 years you would, but... Yeah, I previously I would put her at S rank ASAP, but I think after a while, once the Love Struck appearance has started to fade a little bit over time, I think she's definitely not S rank. I'd probably put her in the girlfriend material tier. What do you think?
It's kind of hard to say. I'm somewhere between one night stand and girlfriend material. I'm not really sure.
I mean, we did push up Dorothea previously when she was kind of in between, so I feel like this one maybe we put in girlfriend material. I can't go much lower than that personally. She is still a favorite of mine, so we'll go with that. Now, post time skip Edelgard, who we don't know too much about, but it seems like she's drastically changed in her personality, or at least slightly. She says things like the crests are to blame, which we knew that before. And she's talking about something along the lines of unreasonable ideals and stuff like that. So she looks like she's grown wiser. She's got this very definitive personality. I'm actually working on an Edelgard video right now that should be coming out either maybe before this video or after. I'm not entirely sure. But I am a big fan of post-time skip Edelgard, and it's actually one of the major reasons that I'm going Black Eagles. The design's actually really nice. She looks like an empress, which is good. I mean, it fits her personality. It fits what her role is in the game. So, I don't know. What do you think about post-time skip Edelgard?
Well, I'm not super big on the bright red. It makes me think of the whole Lawhurt shtick and everything. Mm-hmm. Though it does give her an air of intimidation, which I think really helps her character a lot more. And I think, again, how I was talking about how I wasn't super big on what they were going for with post-time skip Clyde, where he kind of felt too, I guess, anime protagonist again. I really hope that they actually prove me wrong with that. I think she has the potential to be pretty interesting. She's kind of in the same situation as Dimitri, where they both almost kind of have this sort of evil feel to them, or potentially just morally ambiguous kind of thing, which I think is a plus for this game. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of in the middle with her, honestly. Mostly because she's not really my thing personally, but I think there's a lot of good things going for her.
I mean, it's the interesting point where I'm trying to rank her here. It's like she's gotten much more serious. She's obviously older. She's obviously matured, but is she still got that waifu appeal that her younger self had? She's got sort of the hair tied up. She looks like she looks like she's evolved from a teenager to like this businesswoman who knows what she wants and what she's doing. So I don't know if she's technically still got that waifu appeal. I don't know if she's gone down a notch. It kind of feels like to me she's definitely gone down a step.
Again, I feel as though she might be a bit too intimidating to guys at some point, so maybe that might turn people off. I know some people are really into that, but it might be a turn off for some.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really put her in the one-night stand tier just because she is such a unique character and looks to be a very interesting
honestly,
character.
If you had a one-night stand with her, she'd probably come for your throat if you did something bad.
Well, yeah, there you go.
She felt that you weren't loyal to her.
So, for the sake of not being beheaded, we're going to keep her in the girlfriend material tier, so that she doesn't come for me at night. All right, so that's the Black Eagles ladies all done with, and I think they're doing extremely well, aside from poor Bernadette all the way down there. I know that's going to be controversial, and I'm going to take a lot of heat for it. But yeah, come at me, bro, in the comments.
Yeah, I'm taking any credit for that one.
That's all me. Come at me in the comments. Tell me how much you love Bernadette, and I guess who your waifu choice is in general for Three Houses. But yeah, the Black Eagles girls did very well. I don't think anyone expected any less. I think most people know that this has the highest tier ladies in the spread so far. But now we're moving on to the Blue Lions, and we don't have any Lord here, but we are starting with Mercedes von Maltritz, a kind woman who carefully observes her surroundings and is unable to ignore people in need. She is a former imperial noble, but now lives as a commoner in the kingdom. Previously, she was enrolled in the Magic Academy in the royal capital. She claims to be a little older than the other students. What do you think, Blue?
I really like her design, personally. I love the hair. Again, I love blonde characters in general, even if it is a female character, but eyes are really good. I love the mom look that she's going for, personally. I like the motherly characters in general. That's one of my favorite archetypes for female characters. I'm kind of curious about the whole commoner backstory thing, about her being a noble originally from the Destron Empire. I think that's pretty intriguing, and potentially something that I like to see in supports.
Yeah, she's definitely an interesting character. I know a lot of people love the way she looks. They love her hair. I kind of feel like the personality, the older sister personality that she's going for is going to be a huge turn on for a lot of people. They're going to love that, because she's a little older than everyone else. And yeah, her backstory, while we don't know much, but former noble who's become a commoner, she looks like a very kind, or it says that in her description, I guess, kind woman. That definitely puts her pretty high up, at least girlfriend material, I would say, if not S-rank material.
I think just because she is of the motherly type, she would be good at taking care of others, so I think she would be S-rank material, honestly.
Yeah, you think so? I would probably agree here. I think we go S-rank. All right, well, that was an easy decision. So next we have Annette Fantine Dominic, the niece of Baron Dominic. She graduated from the Magic Academy in the royal capital with flying colors. She's cheerful and hardworking, but she can often waste her energy and end up nowhere. Mercedes is a close friend of hers from the Magic Academy days. The pair affectionately call each other Mercy and Anne. So, this one I'm not too big of a fan of, just because she looks really, really young. And I'm not too big of a fan of, like, the little short hair put in the curls. The personality, like, cheerful and hardworking is great, but she kind of just feels, like, kind of annoying. I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Honestly, I'd put her more in my shipper tier, I guess you can say. She seems like the fun character to pair off with other characters. I know I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that, but again, agreeing with you, I think she is a little bit on the young-looking side. I do like the hair color, though. I do like the redhead for girls, personally. Again, I think maybe just those little curls at the end make her look a little bit too young.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd go friend zone probably, because
I wouldn't go
I'd be
invisible.
friends with her, honestly, but
yeah, I mean, she's cheerful. She looks like she's energetic. You know, she looks like she'd be fun to have around. So I would definitely put her in the friend zone tier as well. Okay, we're actually rolling through these. Not too much debate yet, I guess. We'll get there.
Well, definitely, I have some things to say about certain characters a little bit later on.
Yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so we've got. Next up, it looks like the Claire lookalike of Three Houses. It is Ingrid Brundle Galatea, a lady from Count Galatea's family. Dimitri, Felix, Sylvain, and her are all childhood friends. Seeing her serious attitude and admiration of virtuous knights, Dimitri would always say, "You're more of a knight than you'd think." However, once she lays eyes on delicious food, she'd forget everything. I think it's your turn to start, Blue.
So that last line kind of worries me a little bit, mostly because it almost feels as though it could potentially be gimmicky. Kind of similar to, those characters like, what's her name? I'm not gonna get... Ileana. Like, she kind of makes me think of Ileana a bit. And I really don't want that to be a gimmick, honestly. I'm also not really big on the deep voice for female characters in general, especially when they don't look as though they should have a deep voice. I know that's kind of a weird thing to bring up. I think she's pretty though, personally.
Oh yeah, she looks great. Again, blonde is not my thing, but for those who like blondes and for those who are a fan of Claire and Shadows of Valentia, I think this is a very good transition for them. She's definitely not in the friend zone tier, especially because she loves food. I mean, that's a big seller. You did say Ileana. It also reminds me of Sasha from Attack on Titan. So that's another Attack on Titan reference, like last video. Serious attitude and admiration of virtuous knights. Like, she seems like she's got a good head on her shoulders, She's not like a wild child or anything, and she seems like she's close with Dimitri, so someone definitely holds her in high regard. I want to say it's like between a one-night stand and girlfriend material for me.
It feels like we should probably start filling out one-night stand, because I don't know, I'm not really big on her character personally, but I think she's pretty enough for that. Maybe just one-night stand.
Oh, there's no way she's in the friend zone tier. That's way too low for her. Yeah, I mean, we can put her there for now. I feel like she'll definitely get bumped up if we revisit. That's just my personal take on it, but we'll see. We are very top heavy at the moment with who we've rated so far. All right, so that's Blue Lions done with. They didn't do as well as the Black Eagles, but hey, I don't think anyone's going to be able to compete with the Black Eagles. So yeah, so now moving on to the Golden Deer. We've got the first lady of the Golden Deer. It is the Felicia lookalike, Hilda Valentin Goneril, the only daughter of Duke Goneril's family. Perhaps the way she was pampered by her father and older brother, she has a habit of slacking off and is good at acting cute and buttering people up. She's notable for her easygoing and frivolous manner and can be summarized as a typical nobleman's daughter. She adores fashionable and glamorous things. So my initial impression is, this is for anyone who loved Felicia and Fates. This is their transition girl. It feels like they've taken a lot of the popular characters from Fates and they've kind of twisted a little bit, or the recent games in general, twisted them, changed them around a little bit, similar design, and just plopped them into Three Houses as bait for people. It doesn't say that she's clumsy per se, but she has that habit of slacking off, and she looks like she's cutesy and likes the fashion and the glamorous things. So I think people are going to be all over this one. But to me, honestly, not high enough to be waifu material, but I'm going to try and be a little bit more objective here. But I'll turn it over to you first.
Okay, here's where things get pretty messy. Interesting that you compared her to Felicia, weirdly enough. I'm getting Sarah vibes from this. Really big Sarah vibes from her.
Okay, I can see that too, actually.
Sarah, I know some people are gonna get mad at me for that. Oh gosh, this character is probably my least favorite one out of all the girls, personally. I don't like the slacking off thing, the Ojo-sama, like the ones who do that laugh, the very characteristic laugh of the princess types, and oh gosh, no, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan either. Like, this one is not S rank ASAP for me. It's either going to be somewhere between the girlfriend material and one night stand tier.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be friends with this character.
Wow, you put her in invisible?
Yeah.
No, I think that's going a little bit too far. That's your I think that's your female judgment coming in here. More so than anything else. I think the guys would definitely be fans of this one. I feel as though this girl would walk all over a guy, personally. I would recommend stay away from this type of girl. She's gonna take advantage of you big time. I'm just saying. Guys, take notes, like I said last video. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's at least worth one night stand here. I mean,
I'm gonna do the same thing as Edelgard. I feel as though she's gonna like say, okay, like we're gonna have a one night stand, but you're gonna owe me for something if you do something, or I'm gonna, like, I don't know, maybe blackmail you or something.
No, this is so. I'm gonna, like I did with Jaritza last time, and I said that phrase. I'm gonna go this time. This is the girl you have a one night stand with, and the next you wait until she's asleep and you run the hell away. Because she's probably just going to make you be her servant the entire night instead.
Yeah, I don't trust this girl, honestly.
But I would still put her in one night stand tier just because of that. Like, I definitely wouldn't go lower than that, so... Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, so that was an interesting little conversation there. We finally got some debate going, but with that, we are going to transition on to another one that has caught the fancy of a few people lately, and that is Lysithea von Cordelia, the eldest daughter of Count Cordelia's family. She's the youngest student enrolled this year at 15 years of age. She's a child prodigy who excels at magic, yet she's a hard worker who doesn't make a fuss about her talent. Despite that, she has a childish side, not wanting to be seen as a child and having a fear of ghosts. I started last time, so it's your turn, Blue.
This is probably one of the ones where I honestly don't know where to put her. She's a bit young. Personally, I really don't know where I stand with this character. I don't think we know enough about her, really. Just
yeah, I mean, she's a hard
she
worker.
Just had the childish kind of side to her, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she's one of those that's serious, but yet still childish and doesn't look like she's matured very much. She's not necessarily a bad character, but I mean, her design's fine. She looks great, but the personality has me a little bit worried here, and the child prodigy thing where she's going like the loot kind of type, I feel like she probably deserves to be in the friend zone tier.
I'm not sure, honestly. Again, she is a bit young, but like, where do I put this girl, honestly? I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, we put
I'll leave it to your
in
decision.
friend zoned. We did put Annette in friend zone.
You can take
so
the front of this.
I'm gonna put her in the friend zone tier. I'm not a big fan. Yeah, I'm gonna take a lot of brunt. I'm gonna take a lot of heat, and usually, things like this that are very opinionated tier lists tend to have a lot of people who disagree, but that's fine. We have a lot of people who disagree, and I like to hear other people's opinions in the comments. It's always fun to hear, other people's reasons as to why they do or don't like a specific character. So make sure you let us know if you disagree with us, why you disagree with us. Maybe we'll change our minds in the next part when we do the post-time skip ones. All right, so moving swiftly on, the Golden Deer does have a lot of female characters. I think it's the only house with the imbalance.
No, the only one that actually has a proper imbalance is Blue Lions, but it's more guys than girls.
Oh, okay, interesting. I didn't know that. It just seems like the Golden Deer has a lot of them.
No, it's equal.
No, okay. Anyways, the next one is Marianne von Edmund, the adopted daughter of the faraway Earl of Edmund. She tends not to associate with others, so there are many people who have yet to hear her voice. On the other hand, she adores birds and animals and can talk very openly to them. She's extremely devout and offers prayers to the goddess every day. So, this one, a lot of people are big fans of, and I think mostly she's gotten attention just because of the way she looks with like the bags under her eyes that say she hasn't slept in days or whatever. I'm kind of trying to look past that. Oh, there's also the whole Berkut and Renea archetype. I personally am a huge fan of Renea, so just the fact that she kind of looks like her is, a little bit of a bonus point for me. But I get very concerned, it's like she talks to animals and she's very devout. Doesn't seem like the kind of person who would want to associate with guys. That's just the vibe I'm getting, though. But yeah, what do you think, Blue?
Yeah, I kind of agree, honestly, with maybe she wouldn't really want to be around guys. I think she is pretty, but yeah, she seems like the type that would try to generally avoid people, just kind of stick with nature. Though, I guess you could say there is a sense of loyalty to her because she is very devout to the goddess.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell, okay, she has a routine going on. and she's not gonna just jump off that, like that wagon or whatever.
I'm actually gonna flip-flop on my opinion here now that I've had a little bit, once you brought up the whole loyalty thing and I've had a little bit of a thought about it. This might be someone who, once you get her attention, she's devoted just to you. And so that's actually, I would have previously put her in the friend zone tier, but I think actually because of that way of thinking now that I think about it, she probably moves up to at least girlfriend material, and she does look good. So...
well, you know how you say, okay, maybe she'll become really devoted to you? It feels almost creepy in a sense. It gives you, like, Tharja vibes or something.
No, not that far. I mean, she's not crazy. She looks like a nice girl instead.
But yeah, if she is generally loyal, but not to that extent, not obsessive extent, I think I would like her, personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this one can go in girlfriend material. Agree?
I'm still thinking, I'm not sure, because I want to put her somewhere between girlfriend material and friend zone, but not really one night stand, if that makes any sense.
She doesn't really fit in that tier. It's just kind of awkwardly named for her, at least. So, I don't know. I think I go with girlfriend material here. I think she's very popular and a lot of people like her.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with that.
Okay, cool. So, the next one is Leonie Pinelli, a hunter's daughter from Samhain Village within Leicester. To become a money-making mercenary, she entered the Officers' Academy with money loaned from her village. She trains hard and lives frugally every day so she can repay her village's money and goodwill. She calls Geralt, who motivated her to become a mercenary, her master, and claims that she's his top student. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of her personally. So we know how last video I said I'm not big on beards for guys. Short hair for girls for me, I don't like them. I don't like the tomboyish types. Also, she kind of gives me the vibe that, those characters and supports where all they really do is talk about training. Characters like Hana, I know people like Hana, but yeah, like, she gives me that kind of vibe, and I'm not big on that personally. I don't like it.
Yeah, again, I'm not too big of a fan of the short hair either, but I do like her personality, and I don't think that she's going to be someone who's friend-zoned, probably just because she's a pain to nail down. I do think she epitomizes the one-night stand tier, though.
I guess maybe for people who do like that type.
Yeah,
general,
I think...
Because, yeah, I don't think she would be super committed to a relationship, per se.
No, I don't think so either.
Like, she'd be more interested in training.
She'd pair very well with Raphael, probably.
Probably. I might go for that on my Golden Deer playthrough.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Alright, so we're going to put her in the one-night stand tier then. Things are starting to look a little bit more evened out here in the tiers. But, yeah, so that's all the students done with. It looks like the students in the female portion of this tier list thing did much better than their male counterparts. But with that, now we move on to the miscellaneous section, which is consistent of 3 people who aren't exactly teachers, but are around in the game. And oh boy, do we have a controversial one to start out here with. We're starting out with Sothis, someone that we have to rank.
Can I take this one?
Yeah, let me just read her description first, and then you can take it. But, oh boy, are we going to get some heat and controversy for this one. But we have to do it. We're committed to doing this, so we're going to talk about it. So this is an enigmatic being. Note, they specified being. They didn't even specify gender here. That appeared in the protagonist's dreams. After saving the protagonist with the power to rewind time, she speaks to them as if she's inside their head. Yet nobody else can see or hear her. She has no recollection of her identity and has the body of a young girl, but the tone of an old lady. Where have we heard this one before?
Oh boy.
It's all you.
Alright. 2 words. Literally invisible. She's invisible to everyone, so I think it is fitting to put her in invisible tier because no one can see her.
I mean, as much as I love that that joke of her literally being invisible. We have to be a little bit. Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying this. Open-minded about the way we think about things. I take that back so many times. Not a fan of the young girl but old in age thing. I know a lot of people do like it. I know it's a particularly divisive thing in the Fire Emblem community in general. I really don't know what to say here, to be honest. Like this is literally a lolly, and I'm not about that, but I know people are. And so for me personally, and I think for Blue, I can say that we're going to put her in the invisible tier. If you disagree, you disagree, and you can put her in the waifu tier. That's totally fine. That's just not my thing. So we're going to do that, and we're going to move on swiftly. Very swiftly to the next portion, and that is Raya, the Archbishop and Supreme Ruler of the Church of Seiros. Since the time Geralt was in the Knights of Seiros, she recognizes the protagonist's potential and invites them to the Officers' Academy. Although she's like a kind and loving mother, she has a harsh side that passes judgment on those who oppose the church. Now this one's interesting, because she looks very good. She kind of reminds me of Emerin, and maybe to some extent Mikoto from Fates. She gives me that kind of character vibe in general, but I think this one's a little bit more devious than we would have thought, because they do say she's got a harsh side. I want to say she's probably one of those people who's like, it looks one way on the surface and is probably scandalous on the inside. So I don't know. She's got a little bit of my attention. She looks good. Her hair and eyes match, and her design is very regal, and she looks very important. What do you think, Blue?
Honestly, I pretty much agree with you. Personally, she does kind of give that Amaranth vibe to her, but at the same time, there is kind of possibly another side to her. Maybe a bit more sinister, potentially, but I think the thing that's throwing me off is the fact that it's implied that she is playable, so I'm not sure what to think of her personally, of what kind of role she's gonna have in the end. Again, I do like her design a lot. It's really pretty. I like the little flowers in her hair a lot.
Yeah,
the
they've definitely
in her hair looks really pretty.
put a lot of detail into that little tiara / crown thing and her clothes. She's definitely up there between one night stand and girlfriend material for me. I don't know what you think.
Problem is that one night stand, if you had a one night stand with this type of person in this kind of authoritative position, I don't think you're gonna get off easily.
Well, I think it's the opposite. I think it's because she's in this position, she doesn't want any connections to people, so she would probably sleep with you and then blackmail you to death, and you can't say anything.
Well, I mean, that's why. I think that's the thing. Why would you want to be in that situation?
I don't know. I just feel like that might be an interesting spot for her. But she does have a nice design. But again, a lot of other characters coming up do as well, so I don't know. Maybe we bump this one down from girlfriend material to one night stand tier. Unless you're, like, totally against it.
I don't know. Again, I feel as though one night stand could potentially lead to some bad times. I don't know.
This is a tricky one.
You know what? I'll just leave it up to you.
Okay, I'm going to put her in one night stand tier, and then we will revisit this list, because I mean, she doesn't really match with the rest of the other characters in there with her, so it's difficult. I don't know. Let's move on, and then we can think about what happens. So I don't know if we have a description for Anna, but she's on here, so we can rank her. She doesn't really have much of a role in most of the games. She does have one in Fire Emblem Heroes as like one of our 3 Asker trio units, but yeah, Anna's in every game. She looks different in every game. She's kind of an Easter egg there. I think there's actually one game she's not in. I can't remember which one it is. Maybe it was
Gaiden. Wait, I know. Gaiden.
Yeah, Gaiden. Yeah, she wasn't in Gaiden. Yeah, but every other game she's been in, she's usually like either the shopkeeper on one of the menus. I don't know what her role is going to be in this one, but a lot of people love Anna, so I guess we can rank her. I don't know what you think. This one's weird.
I've never really been a fan of Anna per se. I know I'm gonna get some flack for that. I think it's just because of that almost money grubbing kind of thing going for her. I mean, sure, it's important to, I don't want to be stingy with your money, but, you know, be good with your money. I'm just saying, like, I don't really like that gimmick per se. That's just me.
Yeah, I'm honestly not too big of a fan. Again, she doesn't have that much of a personality. It's just kind of the looks, and she's gained recent popularity due to Heroes. I'm honestly struggling here between thinking of putting her in One Night Stand tier or maybe even friend zoned, because she's not really around. So, like, what do you where, when, how, why? Like, you know.
Honestly, like, would this is gonna sound really bad, but would she pay you or would she ask you to pay her?
Oh, yeah, that's also a good point. She is a merchant and she is very money aware. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Ooh, yeah. I don't want that kind of controversy.
I think she looks good enough to put her
I'll go
in
friend zone with her.
You go friend zone? Fine. I'm going to give this one to you. We'll put her in friend zone, even though I think she is good looking enough to go into the One Night Stand tier, but it's just like, there's really not enough depth to this one for me to rank her any higher. I don't know. Moving on. It is time for the teachers. So we are starting off with the protagonist. It's the same description that we read last time, except for doing the female design, but I'll read it again. Originally a member of a mercenary band led by their father, Geralt. However, when they rescued students from the Officers' Academy from bandits, their unique power was recognized and they were invited to become a teacher at the Garrick Mac Monastery. I'll turn this one over to you.
So, very similar situation to male Byleth. I think we don't really know enough about them because of the fact that they're protagonists. They don't really have much of a personality, so what we're gonna go off of here is mostly looks, probably, the position. I think that kind of bumps her up a bit, but at the same time, I know everyone has this issue with her. I don't like the design too much, personally. I think, again, just those weird tights that she wears,
They kind of changed those, though, didn't they?
I don't think they did.
Well, we've got the new Officer DLC, if you guys are going to buy the DLC, so...
So we're just talking about the basic outfit here.
Yeah.
Her eyes are a bit too big in comparison to male Byleth, so it looks a bit odd to me personally.
They are. I forget where I read this. Someone said she has the Elliewood eyes from Fire Emblem Heroes, and I was like,
I can see that. I don't know where I would put her, honestly. Like, I don't think she's as good. I know it's kind of hard to compare her to a guy, but I think male Byleth is the better looking one of the two, personally. But again, she does have some of those things going for her. She has the teacher status. She probably knows what she's doing, at least somewhat. So maybe somewhere between One Night Stand and Girlfriend Material.
I agree. I think this one is very difficult to put any lower than that, just because, well, for me as well, she's got the dark hair, so... I'm a simple guy. I mean, what can I say? Yeah, I definitely wouldn't go lower than One Night Stand, but I look at the characters in the One Night Stand tier, and I don't know. Maybe we put her in One Night Stand for now, and we revisit. This one's kind of on the border.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things on the border here, but I guess it makes sense for the middle tier to be the biggest tier. Let's keep going,
yeah,
and then
we'll see.
I know we keep saying we'll keep revisiting, but yeah. So next up is Manuela, who made waves when she showed up for two big reasons, I think. And she is an ex-songstress who once stood at the pinnacle of the Middle Frank Opera Company in the Imperial capital. Now she's a teacher and doctor in the Officers' Academy. She's been seen on the Academy grounds lamenting her inability to find the man of her dreams. She's a bit boorish, but is friendly to her new colleague, the protagonist. This one gives me, and I hate to say this, but a little bit of, like, Camilla vibes.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, honestly. I personally agree with this one. Again, while going back to Dorothea, I'm really big on the singer types. I think she gives me the, the ara type kind of thing going for her. And again, with the... I know, she's just always lamenting about her inability to find the man of her dreams. I feel as though she's the type that would, be that one person who never really finds a man to her standards. She probably has way too high of standards.
I mean, I can see why. but at the same time.
I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously because of her position. I mean, she's very good looking.
Yeah,
well.
her quote-unquote position. Sure.
No, but I mean, like, the fact that she was part of the opera company, this is effectively
No, I know what you're
a
saying. I'm just
celebrity
messing.
as well. So, I mean, understandable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely don't put this one in one night stand tier. Like, she has to be... Probably this one's like a very clear-cut girlfriend material for me.
Yeah, I feel as though she would be the type to go out on dates, but I don't know if she would commit.
Like, she's got it all going for her. She's a teacher, she's a doctor, she's like a famous singer. Like, what is there that's not to like? I almost feel like we can also have a legitimate argument for putting her in the S tier.
At the same
rank.
time, again, I feel as though, especially from her end, I think that she wouldn't really want to necessarily commit to a particular guy, just because I feel as though her standards are too high.
Yeah, maybe you might be right there. But yeah, definitely, I think I put her in girlfriend material.
Yeah, I put at least
tier.
girlfriend material.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you can easily make the argument for S rank. I know a lot of people love her. But yeah. Okay, so another one of the newer characters that was introduced, and I know this one was kind of a little bit popular as well when she got introduced, and that is Flayn, the younger sister of Sothis, the Archbishop's assistant. She resides in the monastery, although she's not a student. She has a calm personality and is carefree towards others, but she can often behave eccentrically when her curiosity takes hold, much to the concern of her older brother. What do you think with this one?
I think she's really pretty, personally. I love that design, the hair thing. I kind of wish I had that hair. Maybe not as poofy, but I really like the hair. She's a bit young, though, and that whole bit too... like, I guess concerning for her older brother, maybe she gets into trouble a little bit too much. She might be a little bit of a liability to a boyfriend, but at the same time, maybe even if she gets older, I feel as though she'll get better. But again, I'm really big on the design personally. That's kind of what's interesting me the most here.
Yeah, I do think she looks great, and they say she's like calm and she's pretty carefree. I mean, the curiosity thing, that's kind of cute. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like that's interesting because it implies that she might be a little bit passionate about certain things that she wants to figure out. Yeah, concern of her older brother. We already talked about him. I'm not a fan. He looks like he's unpleasant, but she looks very pleasant. So I don't know. I would put this one in girlfriend tier. I don't see why not.
Maybe more for post time skip. We'll see what she looks like post time skip. Yeah, let's go girlfriend material.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can do that. Let's do that. Yeah, the girls are definitely filling out the list up there at the top much more easily than the guys did. All right, so next up is Catherine, a graduate of the Officers Academy at the Garrick Mac Monastery and a member of the Knights of Saros. She's a master swordswoman who wields the Raya, one of the legendary weapons referred to as hero relics, and a knight who has sworn loyalty to Archbishop Raya. Catherine looks great. Like, she's got that I'm a boss design, and she shows up in the trailer with that legendary weapon. She looks awesome. You know, the hair's great, the eyes are great. Even though she's blonde, she's one of those where I'm like, I like this woman. She looks good. And yeah, she's a knight, and she wields a legendary weapon. Like, what's not to like here?
Again, I think it comes down to personal preference for me. I'm not a fan of the super, it's just, I guess, out there types like this, the ones that are super strong. When I prefer the cutesy type of female characters, personally, but yeah, I think I'm gonna give this one to you mostly because, again, my personal opinion isn't really going to, like, honestly, again, I'm personally not a fan, but again, I think it's more up to you at this point.
I mean, I wouldn't put this one in S rank, but I do like her. She does catch my attention. She kind of reminds me of Selena from Sacred Stones a little bit, who's very loyal and is also a powerful character. I mean, I wonder if she also will follow that and become, one of the quote-unquote villains on the map that we fight instead of a recruitable unit. That'll be interesting to see, because she's definitely in a cutscene attacking someone, so she's involved in the plot somehow. But yeah, I guess back to ranking her. I'm kind of feeling girlfriend material on this one. I think she'd be pretty solid in that tier. I'd probably put her there.
Yeah, I'll just leave it up to you.
Yeah, I'll probably put her in the girlfriend material tier. That one's filling out quite a bit. Okay, the next one. I'm sure many people have...
instant invisible tier to get back at you for last time.
No, you're not allowed to talk. This is my monologue time. You're not allowed to talk now. This is all me. So people have probably seen the thumbnail, so they probably already know this is coming. Or I don't know, maybe we might change up the thumbnail. Who knows? But if you talk to me on Discord, then you already know. Yeah. She is beautiful. The next one is Shamir, a bow adept who's stationed in the Knights of Saros. She was once a mercenary, but now serves as a knight to repay a debt to Raya from the past. She's a rarity within the Knights because she's not a follower of the Church. For now, she swears allegiance to Raya only. I'm gonna try to be objective here.
Try, quote unquote.
Dark hair, dark eyes, fair skin. I mean, that green jacket is everything. I love it. It looks so classy with like the little shoulder plate. I think she looks fantastic, and she's also got like the black pants with the black corset. I think the design is this is my type. I'm not a big fan of short hair. If the hair was longer, it would be like slam dunk 20 out of 10. But she's still like 10 out of 10 tier here. She's like a little bit older, but not too old. And then she's got the whole, she never forgets. She never does not repay her debts, even if she doesn't necessarily believe in the Church, but she's still repaying the debt to a specific person. And that's something that I think is like an extremely valuable trait to have in general. Even if you don't agree with someone on all the fundamentals of life, but you can find a reason to befriend someone or repay a debt, or, not necessarily clash in terms of ideology, but find common ground. And that's something that's like super valuable to me. I know I just got super deep, but yeah, she's going to S tier. She's got everything. I mean, Blue, you're allowed to give your opinion, but it's not really going to matter.
Yeah, I was going to say...
I'm vetoing everything on this one.
No matter what I say, I know you're not going to change your opinion. Again, I agree with you. I'm not big on the short hair, personally. I love the outfit, though. I kind of want that outfit, personally.
The outfit's baller. She's just...
Yeah, that's something
I could talk all day. I could talk about her all day.
Yeah, again, I don't think there's anything I can say that's going to change your opinion.
Nope, but go ahead and say it.
Again, I'm not big on this type of character, personally. I'm not a huge fan of the serious types. That's just me. And it's kind of a retread of what I've said before with the characters like this.
Yeah, no, I like someone who's confident, who knows what they want, has got their head on straight, and it's just like a developed personality. Like, if I imagine myself walking down the street with someone on my arm, it's someone I want to be proud of, and I'd be totally proud of, like, walking down the street with Shamir. That's, like, living the dream. Living the dream. All right, I think I've said enough. Yeah, I think I should shut up now. We should move on to the last character.
One more.
Before I could just go on all day, but we should move on to the next one. So the next one is the only female villain that we have, and that is Kronia, a member of those who slither in the dark. She looks like a happy young woman, but her smile reveals a childish sense of brutality and scorn. So, she just looks evil. There's not much more to say. She has that, like, the red hair, the weird dagger, the villainous black attire with, like, the spikes on it. The eye tattoo, she's got, like, purple skin.
And I know she gives a lot of people Perry vibes as well. I'm gonna be one of those people that, well, I like Perry personally. I know a lot of people don't.
Oh no, everyone's gonna dislike the video now.
But I want to preface this by saying I like it when they're protagonists, but they have that weird crazy vibe to them. I'm a sucker for token evil teammates. That is one of my biggest tropes that I absolutely adore. But she is not a protagonist, and when they're on the villain side, I think that takes away from it. For me, it kind of changes the dynamic for them, so I'm not a big fan of her personally.
Yeah, I don't know if I really have an opinion on this one. Like, she's not my type at all, but I can see why people would like the design. And
Yeah,
because
the
she's
design
our
is
only...
very unique, honestly.
Yeah, the design is good. I think the design is good. I definitely would not put her in girlfriend material. I don't know if you want a psychopath in girlfriend material tier. Maybe one night stand tier. I definitely would not be friends with this one.
Yeah,
this one's kind of
like...
like...
Let's not even go one
yeah.
night stand with this one because she'll probably kill you.
But, I mean, you would be able to get to a one night stand, so... Or maybe she would just force you into a one night stand. I don't know. I really... You think she goes in the invisible tier?
I don't know. I wouldn't really associate with somebody like this personally if they were a villain.
I mean, so let's think of this fairly. So last time we ranked Thalas in the one night stand tier. Just because if he was a little bit younger and maybe less evil, that you would go with that. So by comparison, I would say that she's like the counterpart to him. She's not like Solon levels of like no way invisible. You definitely wouldn't be friends with any of these ones. I mean, except the Death Knight. You know, we said we would have coffee with the Death Knight.
You'd have coffee with the Death Knight.
I would totally have coffee with the Death Knight, absolutely. But I think she could definitely make it into the one night stand tier. I don't want to be too harsh on this one just because she's a villain. She seems like she's crazy, but that. Yeah, because they did say she looks like a happy young woman, so we can put her in one night stand tier. All right, so let's actually revisit now and look at the tier list overall. So I don't think any of our S ranks are going to change, but there's a few that we had sort of on the border, and that was people like, I guess we had said Marianne, we had said maybe Catherine, and then maybe Ingrid, I suppose we had looked, and like Raya and Byleth. So I don't know, what do you think? Do you think this is like, it looks like it's shaped out to be good and doesn't need changing, or do you think anyone goes up or down here?
I mean, I have my personal opinions. Again, I wouldn't put Hilda this high personally, neither would I put Leonie, but I can see why people would like characters like that.
Yeah.
Again, they're the only two that I think that are the ones that I would change personally, but that's up to you.
I mean, something can be said for Leonie coming down. I wouldn't be opposed to that. We could bring Leonie down one. That's fine. I mean, I look at the rest of them, and Leonie definitely does not stand out as being in that tier. So I'm game with bringing her down one. But I don't know about everyone else. It looks like in general everything is pretty consistent for the most part.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it looks like a pretty good list, honestly.
I mean, that's what we say, but I mean, people in the comments are definitely going to let us know.
I mean, in terms of just the placement, just how many people per tier, I think it's a pretty good amount per tier.
I'm not going to accept anyone disagreeing on Shamir in the comments. If you comment that, I'm going to ban you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But
no, please, everyone in the comments, go out of your way. Tell them that Shamir is not a good sport choice.
No, that's to quote Chaz. That's objective fact and indisputable opinion. I'm going to put that on the screen too because I like that so much. But yeah. Anyways, that is our waifu tier list, a pre-time skip wrapped up with. We will be doing a follow-up to both this one and the Husbando tier list once the game is out and we know the characters very well. A lot of this is subject to change, and it is a personal opinion at the moment, how we feel with the limited information that we know. So, yeah, please let us know who your Three Houses waifu is going to be in the comments below, and thank you very much to Blue. As previously, her details in the description below can be found for her channel if you want to see some Fire Emblem Heroes content of Soren clears, of specific maps. And I don't know if you have any plans to do any other content in the future right now, Blue, but we'll leave the stuff in the description below.
I'm considering potentially, whenever they decide to add Ash, I might consider doing solo clears with him. We'll see.
Cool. So yeah, if anyone, wants to follow Blue, you can find a link to her channel in the description below. And yeah, that's it for this one. I'm going to be releasing an Edelgard video and a Claude video. And then I think I might have a little fun idea of a video release before Three Houses comes out. So if you guys, enjoyed this discussion and want to see some more content for Three Houses, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace.